Hey everybody, it's October 2019, and this is the Mage of Ancients with my Destiny Hero deck profile. In case you guys are not up to speed, we did get a new banlist update this past Monday, and so what happened is that Guard Dragon Aggro Pain got banned, as well as Nightmare Mermaid. But perhaps even nicer is that Elemental Hero Stratos and Destiny Hero Malicious just got unbanned. And I just wanted to be able to bring this deck profile to you right away. So yeah. This is not quite up to what I want it to be, so I still need to playtest with this just a little bit more. But feel free to leave suggestions down in the comments on what I should do to improve this deck. And while you're at it, if you guys want to see other deck profiles just like this for the new format, then be sure to leave suggestions down in the comments below on what decks you would like to see. So with that being said, let's get started with this Destiny Hero deck profile. To start off with the monsters, of course, I am maxing out on Destiny Hero Malicious, and then afterwards I run Destiny Hero Plasma as well as Destiny Hero Dogma. Now, Malicious back at 3. This is a pretty good extender, and of course it's pretty good for hero decks. The reason why it got semi-limited in the first place, as far as I'm concerned, is that Firewall Dragon and Summon Sorcerers are a thing, which means that we're able to just extend our plays and just spam all these monsters onto the field. But now that Firewall Dragon and Summon Sorcerers are banned, I think people are pretty much okay that Malicious is back at 3. Plasma is the monster that I would usually see myself going into between Plasma and Dogma. It lets you negate the effects of all face-up monsters that your opponent controls. And you can special summon it by attributing 3 monsters. Dogma, I don't really see myself summoning this often. This is mainly here because I have Destiny and Dragoon in my extra deck. Then afterwards, the other Destiny Hero monsters I run are 1 Celestial, 1 Decider, 1 Drill Dark, and 1 Disc Commander. Disc Commander, it's not as good as it was before, obviously, because of the new errata. But you can special summon it from the graveyard, except for the turn that it was sent to the graveyard, and then you can draw 2 cards after that. Unfortunately, right now it's a once per duel effect. Drill Dark, of course, lets you special summon either one of these other Destiny Hero monsters, or even another copy of itself if you want to run another copy. Decider lets you recycle a hero monster back from your graveyard in the end phase of the turn in which it was normal or special summoned. And Celestial, it's more draw power just like Disc Commander, although I think it's pretty much better than Disc Commander at this point. Next up, the Elemental Hero monsters. Of course, I am maxing out on Elemental Hero Stratos right here. And then afterwards, 2 copies of Shadow Mist, 1 Solid Soldier, and 1 Honest Neos. Yes, you guys heard me right, Stratos is back at 3, and I think that a lot of people are very happy about that, myself included. So you can activate either one of these effects when it's normal or special summon. You can search your deck for a hero monster, or you can destroy spells and traps on the field up to the number of hero monsters you control except this card. Shadow Mist also lets you search your deck for a hero monster the same way that Stratos can if this card is sent to the graveyard, whether from the deck or the field or the hand, wherever. So yeah, you can either activate that effect, or you can search your deck for a change quick play spell like Mask Change if this card is special summoned. Solid Soldier is a pretty decent card as well, so you can special summon a hero monster if this is normal summoned, or what you can do is that if this card is sent from the monster zone to the graveyard by a spell effect like Polymerization or Mask Change, then you can special summon a hero monster from your graveyard in defense position. Honest Neos, you can just discard it and then give one of your hero monsters 2500 extra attack. Or you can, if this is on your field, then you can discard another hero monster, and this card gains attack equal to the discarded monster's attack until the end of the turn. You don't go into that second effect too often, but you're mainly using it to give one of your other hero monsters 2500 attack. And then afterwards, I run the Vision Heroes. I run 3 copies of Vision Hero Ferris, 2 Increase, 2 Vion, and I'm also slipping in 1 copy of Vision Hero Gravito. Personally, I think that Gravito is a pretty decent card. You guys don't have to run it, but I just think it's a pretty good way for you to recycle your banished hero monsters like Destiny Hero Malicious. Ferris lets you discard a hero monster so you can special summon it, and then you can put Increase into your spell and trap card zone. You contribute a hero monster to special summon Increase from your spell and trap card zone, and then special summon Vision Hero Vion from your deck. And then Vion, of course, lets you send any hero monster from your deck to the graveyard. And you can also banish a hero monster from your graveyard to search Polymerization off of this. And like I said, Gravito lets you recycle your banished hero monsters. So those were my monsters. Now onto the spells. I am running 3 copies of E Emergency Call. You want to be able to search for your elemental hero monsters as possible, and fortunately this is not a hard once per turn. Fusion Destiny lets you fusion summon a monster from your extra deck that has a Destiny Hero monster as material, and you can do so by using monsters from your hand or deck as material. So let's say that you want to fusion summon your Destiny and Dragoon. So I could send Plasma and Dogma from your hand or deck to the graveyard and then bring it out, but for the rest of the turn you cannot special summon monsters except Dark Hero monsters. Fortunately, this is a Destiny Hero based build, so you have plenty of Dark Hero monsters to work with. And I don't run that many copies of Fusion Destiny because I don't want to brick as much. And then afterwards, I am running 2 copies of Mask Change as well as 2 copies of Polymerization. Polymerization, of course, it lets you fusion summon your hero monsters, and Mask Change is pretty different in case you guys don't know. You actually use this in order to bring out your Masked Hero fusion monsters from your extra deck. So let's say that you have Shadow Mist onto the field, and you set your Mask Change and you activate it, you send that Shadow Mist to the graveyard, bring out a Masked Hero monster like Darklaw, and you can search your deck for a hero monster off of Shadow Mist. Afterwards, 2 copies of Allure of Darkness, your 1 copy of A Hero Lives, Foolish Burial, and Reinforcement of the Army, excuse me. And then afterwards, I am running only 2 trap cards, 1 copy of D-Tactics and 1 D-Fusion. D-Tactics and D-Fusion, these are pretty slow cards, because D-Fusion, you don't run that many Destiny Hero monsters like I already said. It lets you fusion summon a monster from your extra deck using monsters you control as materials, not from your hand. So yeah, you can only use Destiny Hero monsters to fusion summon with this card. D-Tactics is mainly here so that you can remove some of the cards that your opponent controls. If a level 8 or higher Destiny Hero monster or Destiny and Dragoon is special summoned to your field, then you can banish 1 card from your opponent's hand, random, field, or graveyard. And also has another effect where if this card in the spell and trap zone is destroyed by a card effect, you can add a Destiny Hero monster from your deck to your hand. Personally, I don't see myself running these 2 cards. These are kind of slow. If there's ever a card that lets you search for D cards like D-Tactics and D-Fusion, then I would reconsider putting this back into the deck. You don't run that many Destiny Hero monsters, so I wanted a consistent draw spell that doesn't require me having a Destiny Hero monster in my hand. So I draw 2 cards of Allure of Darkness, and I can banish a dark monster that I happen to have in my hand after that. A Hero Lives if you control no monsters. Of course, you can special summon a hero monster. Foolish Burial lets you send any monster from your deck to the graveyard. And Reinforcement of the Army is here because I am running Warriors, of course. So that was my main deck. Now onto the extra deck. Of course, I'm running Extra Hero Cross Crusader. I'm running 2 copies of that. Afterwards, 1 copy of Wonder Driver and 1 Extra Hero Dread Decimator. Personally, I would have loved to run more Link monsters like Borlo Dragon and Boral Sword Dragon, but this deck is mainly focused on the heroes, so Extra Hero Cross Crusader lets you special summon a Destiny Hero monster from your graveyard. It could be Dystopia, it could be Decider, it could be Disc Commander if you want to. And you can also tribute a Destiny Hero monster, and you can search your deck for a hero monster off of its effect. You cannot special summon monsters during the turn you activate either of those effects, except for hero monsters. But I am playing plenty of hero monsters, so I don't see that being much of a drawback for me. Wonder Driver basically lets you recycle your Polymerization and Mask Change spells from your graveyard if a hero monster is normal or special summoned to a zone that this card points to. So yeah, like I said, what you can do is you can fusion summon with Polymerization, and then you put that monster into this zone. And you can set your Polymerization back for your graveyard, and then fusion summon again if you have to. My strategy when it comes to Decimator is that basically, if Dread Decimator just happens to be pointing to Destiny Hero Dystopia, then it will enable its ability to pop any card on the field. Speaking of Dystopia, I do have it right here. And the reason why I'm talking about its ability to pop any card on the field is that what you could do is that, I'm going to tell you guys right now, if this card's current attack is different from its original attack, except during the damage step, you can target 1 card in the field, destroy it, and if you do, this card's attack becomes equal to this card's original attack. So yeah, its attack basically resets, but it's pretty good if you want to be able to remove any card from the field, whether it's from your field or for your opponent's field. Either way. I also run one copy of Destiny Hero Dangerous. This is just another way for me to just buff up my Destiny Hero monsters, including Dystopia. So you can discard any card, and then you can send any Destiny Hero monster from your deck to the graveyard, and then you basically buff up your Destiny Hero monsters from there. Dominance, I don't really see myself going into this too often, but it basically lets you restack the top 5 cards of your deck or your opponent's deck. And yeah. It's mainly here. You can fusion summon this off of Fusion Destiny. Like I said before, you can fusion summon your Destiny and Dragoon as well off of Fusion Destiny. So it has an ability where you can target one monster your opponent controls and destroy it, and if it was face up, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its attack that it had on the field. You cannot conduct your battle phase during the turn to activate this effect. So yeah, that's why it's here. 2 copies of Masked Hero Darklaw, of course. 1 Masked Hero Enki. I think these are the only masked heroes that I play in my extra deck. So yeah, I can pretty much see why people are not very fond of this card. It says here, any card sent to your opponent's graveyard is banished instead. And it also lets you remove cards from your opponent's hand if they happen to add a card from their deck to the hand. Masked Hero Enki is here because you can attack directly with this. And then 1 copy of Vision Hero Trinity because you can go to 5,000 after it was fusion summoned. 1 copy of Vision Hero Adoration, so that way you can take away attack from one of your opponent's monsters. And then afterwards, I only run 2 super polymerization targets, Starving Venom Fusion Dragon and Mud Dragon of the Swamp. If anything, you can go ahead and take out Destiny Hero Dominance for a third super poly monster. These 2 are pretty decent super polymerization monsters, but you can run any other monsters. There are a couple of Predaplant monsters that you can run instead of these 2. There was also one Predaplant fusion monster that came out of Legendary Duelist Immortal Destiny. I don't remember it, but you can fusion summon it using 3 dark monsters instead of 2. So yeah. And last but not least, let's go into my side deck. Of course, this is my initial side deck for the format, and then we'll readjust that depending on where the format goes. So you guys can readjust it into any way that you want to. 3 copies of Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit for those monster effects that activate on the field, as well as spell and trap cards that have their effects activate on the field. I also run 3 copies of Chaos Hunter because Orcust and Thunder Dragons are still pretty much decent decks. So you can discard a card, then special summon it, and your opponent cannot banish cards. So yeah, that's why it's here. And then afterwards, of course, I am running 3 copies of Super Polymerization. Like I said, I don't run that many Super Polymerization monsters, so you can run a third monster that you can special summon off of this card if you want to. Then finally, 3 copies of Twin Twisters for those back row decks, like Guru Control and True Draco. And then finally, 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, so that you can use when you're going second, just like for Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. So that's it for this deck profile, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys enjoy videos like this and you want to help support the channel, then be sure to hit that like button. And if you guys haven't so already, be sure to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you stay updated on my latest Yu-Gi-Oh videos. Also, don't forget to tune in later this month because I'll be releasing a couple more deck profiles over the next couple of weeks leading to Halloween, like Altergeist and Frightfur. I'm working on those decks, so I'll be sure to get those decks to you as soon as I can. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and I hope to see you again.